Hello, Knockouts. TonyaTko here, and I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. On this channel, I help you learn how to love yourself and each other. Today, we're going to be talking about B. Smith doing a follow-up. And before we jump into the video, I wanted to make sure that I said this. I don't know out there who's going through a hard time right now, but continue to put one foot in front of the other. Just one foot in front of the other. You don't have to worry about a mile down the road. Just concentrate on that next step. Okay? So let's jump into this video. I wanted to give a special shout out to Rahel on Facebook, who, you know what, I should have probably got the pronunciation of her name before I made the video to give her a shout out. But I believe it's Rahel or Rahel. She sent this to me late last night, and when I watched it, I was disturbed. So she broke the tea. She broke this story for me. I was disturbed, and I want you to see this, and I want you to tell me if you see what I see and hear what it is that I hear. And I also want to give a shout out to Chronicle Speaks, who also forwarded a clip of this to me, like a news story. And she motivated me to come out and make this video today because I'm going through a hard time right now. And I wasn't going to make a video today, but I was actually just going to deal with my hard time. But I'm like, you know what? I know that there are people out there who care about B. Smith. And this is really disturbing. I think it's disturbing. So I'm going to bring this to you so that you could see it. Because we're going to have to do something behind the scenes just to make sure that B is okay. All right, so just take a listen. Let's get into it. All right, let's get in.
We're really happy here because this first story, I know you have a lot to say about it. So let's kind of start getting into it because famed lifestyle expert and restaurateur B. Smith's husband opening up about dating another woman while B battles Alzheimer's disease. Now, B's husband, Dan Gatsby, is now in a relationship with a woman named Alex Lerner while still caring for his wife.
Wow.
Smith and Gatsby have been married since 1992, and Smith revealed her Alzheimer's diagnosis back in 2014.
As you can imagine, social media has been in somewhat of an uproar since the news of this new relationship. Gatsby revealing that he's even received death threats because of it.
It's crazy. In a recent interview, Gatsby says what people don't understand is that B is now like a toddler, unaware of the relationship and needing 24/7 care. Now, critics say B wouldn't want this, and his response is that if B knew, he wouldn't be with Alex.
Oh, man, that is tough on so many levels.
Yes.
Well,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, Paul, you have an inside track on this, huh?
When you sell your story to People magazine, hey, all bets are off. Well,
Right.
this is what happened. I've known B. Smith for a long time.
Really?
And, you know, in certain circles, she's like our Martha Stewart. She was the first black woman to ever have a full line at Bed Bath & Beyond. She was a great restaurateur. And over the years, we became friends, and we were quite close. And so I spent a lot of time in the Hamptons over the summer. And to my surprise...
I didn't get to go last summer. I was tired out. I plan on going this summer.
So check this out. So I'm at a pool party where I was actually staying in the Hamptons, and Dan Gatsby comes in. Hey, Dan.
Oh, these are pictures. This is a video.
This is a video. So, okay, there you go. This is the exact
That's
moment.
what the locks look like.
So those two
wet,
people
huh?
in the back, that's Dan and Alex right there. In the
Okay.
pool.
Oh,
So I'm seeing my friend's husband, Dan Gatsby, come into the pool party.
Oh,
I'm
really?
seeing Alex Lerner, who I know from my time in New York, and I know her well. And Alex says, well, do you know Dan? I said, do you know Dan? and so I'm thinking that they just came as friends. I'm taking this video, and I'm like, and if you listen to the video, I'm like, oh, Alex is busy at the moment.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, what is going on? So, of course, I had to retreat on that. And the next day, we end up going to Wolford Estates, a winery up in East Hampton. And we run into Dan, Alex, and B at this winery.
Oh, man.
Together.
And I'll tell you, so you know, I've heard what everybody has to say about it. For me personally, because I know her and I have known them, this is me walking B around Wolford Estates Winery. And you know, Dan and Alex, they were saying a lot. She's like a child. I said, but she's not. But she's not. She's an adult. And there was a moment where Alex did chastise B a bit. She was reaching for something on the table and she smacked her hand.
Right.
And I grabbed Alex's hand and I said, Alex, you know, you really can't do that.
Right.
So I think the issue is For one thing, they have great resources. I feel like she should be supported more in terms of her caregiving, and this is just my opinion. Alex coming into this relationship, although her intentions are good, she's still a woman in a relationship with a man that wants to be loved.
Yes, but
You know, and is it easy to be the second wheel in that? I'll tell you one other thing, one other piece, which I'm going to talk about more on my podcast, Politics, which starts the second season this Thursday. But I'll tell you, Dan was at the table. Oh, there you go. There you go. Dan was at the table, and he was saying to me, you know, B is the kindest, sweetest woman I've ever met. And I'm going to share. And I didn't want to for a long time, but Alex looked at him and smacked the heck out of his arm.
wow.
And she said, I'm sitting here, and you're saying that B is the kindest, sweetest woman you ever met? And I said, Alex, that's his wife. So really, that's the conversation. Can you come into a relationship with a couple when one is suffering this terrible disease and respect the fact that that's still the wife?
Yeah, I couldn't.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds on so many different levels. Like, you want everybody to be happy, so you want this gentleman to be happy. But this woman, you know, didn't choose to suffer like this. I mean, they took those vows at the altar and stuff like that. So, man, that's
But there's
tough.
an intimacy between a man and a woman that is deeper than a person, whether it's a man and a woman, and the side piece. And I'm sorry,
Right.
but that's what it is.
Sure.
And you will always be number two because his love for his wife will always come first. He will always want to take care of her. He will always want to protect her. He will always want to make sure that she's healthy as she can
But
be.
is it always?
And it doesn't seem like he's doing a very
for
good
the
job.
third person. Sometimes they leave for the third person, and I mean, look, when three consenting adults are having a lovely evening, I'm not, you know what I'm talking about. You know, one always gets left out. I mean, those are just the facts. And in the situation, I know y'all can't react. You work on the news.
I can react.
I don't really work there, so I can say whatever I want. I'm all But you know, one person always gets kind of left out, and in this situation, when you're coming into somebody's home, it's just a really tough situation. I think it's really hard for Alex to be, you know, third wheel.
Yeah. I do too.
I mean, I haven't gone through anything like that, obviously, but, you know, as you would think.
What would you want? What would you, if this were happening to you, would you want your wife to move another man into the house?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. And if it was my mother, like if B was my mother, I wouldn't, they were my mom and dad. I wouldn't want another woman coming in while my mom is suffering and my father's supposed to be taking care of her. So no, I mean, I feel like that guy's kind of taking the easy way out, if you will, you know.
Whatever happened to getting a little piece on the side? I'm sorry. I mean, don't you leave that out of the house? Like most respecting people, you have your affairs on the side?
Right, but
Am
that's
I alone
in the
here?
house.
No. Oh, you news people are thinking.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, that's why it's a separate life.
Yeah.
That's why it's separate, and you find somebody different, and you do different things because it's not your wife or your husband. You're going out to do something. That's why they say it's strange.
It is strange. So this picture that's up now, I ran into.
Okay. Then they start going into another tangent. You know what? You know what I want to do right now? I want to play the Dr. Oz clip for you. You know what? While I get queued up to get the Dr. Oz clip for you, I want you to think about, for just a few moments, what did you hear in that piece? And what type of person is this Alex person becoming to be revealed as? Number one, what type of person moves into another woman's house when she's suffering like that? The news anchor said something really important. He's like, B didn't choose this. She didn't choose to suffer like this. You know, another thing, what did you see? Did you see the way, first of all, I didn't realize that was him in the pool. Homeboy got a pretty nice body for somebody who's in his 60s. But look at how he was just rolling up on her, pulling her in like that was his woman, going in for the kiss and all of this public displays of affection. And you all made mention about the difference in his face and demeanor when he was remember the image that I used in the last video, the thumbnail? the image, the way his face was when he was with B and she was suffering. And that was their promo shot that they did for the book, before I forget. And then the way, the big cheesily smile that he has up when he's with his little thing. And I'm just like, there's just so many different things that are wrong with this. But I want you to actually hear what he said on Dr. Oz. So let me pause this video and get that for you real quick.
So what do your friends, what do B's friends think about your relationship with Alex?
Well, the ones that know B are extremely supportive, have no problems with it. The people, because she's a celebrity, a personality, quote unquote, they weigh in, and what they do is they attach what they feel B would, they attach their feelings and say, well, B doesn't know, she wouldn't want this. Well, if B knew, I wouldn't be with Alex because she wouldn't have Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort
Why
of
are they
like,
clapping?
it's sort of like, well, why are you with this person? Well, if we didn't divorce, I would have been with the person. And so it's maddening. I mean, we've had death threats. I mean, we've had people, you know, just do all kind of crazy things. They've never been to our restaurants. We don't know them. They make all kind of racial innuendos.
Be sure to subscribe.
All right. There's so much to unpack here. And my spirit is so just downtrodden by this that I can't even really fully unpack. So I'm going to need you to assist me in the comments. What were the orbitals that you saw? And then he used the word divorce. Freudian slip, huh? If I didn't divorce, then I would have been with this person. What does that even mean? So much going on. First of all, sounds like Alex Lerner is a little handsy. This is what people are saying. Slapping the mess out of his arm, smacking B on the hand. What else? What other types of slaps or hits are going on inside this household? I find this just to be so very disturbing. And then what are the orbitals that you get? And for those of you who know my videos, you know that orbitals are reading between the lines. So what are the orbitals that you get from his statement on Dr. Oz's show? Well, if B didn't have Alzheimer's, then I wouldn't be with this person because she wouldn't have Alzheimer's. So he just sounds incredibly selfish, incredibly self-centered. And, you know, I've been keeping my personal opinion about him as a person out of this because, like I said, this is the person that B chose. But who is he showing himself to be? The man is not divorced. He's still married to B. Smith. He's up inside of the pool, pushing himself up against this woman, pulling her in, sucking on her face in the middle of the pool among their colleagues and cronies while his wife is where? Also, one of the things, I'm sorry that I wasn't looking at the screen when they talked about when he talked about her slapping the hand, because I wanted to write down that note that Paul had said. He said he was walking B around. So I think that gives us an idea of the state. He didn't say he was going for a walk with her. He was walking around with her. He was like, I was walking B around. And then so this guy who's not a caretaker, who was an associate or friend from back in the days, comes up and then now he's walking B around. Where's Dirty Dan and his sycophantic mistress? This whole situation is just so confusing to me. There's so many different ideas going on that have me even more afraid and worried for B. Talking about she's like a toddler. No, but she's not a toddler like Paul was saying. She's a woman and she was your wife for 22 years. And then the moment that she can't give you of herself, meanwhile, he's still living off of her money, but she can't give of herself in the ways that a wife could or would, the way that a partner would. Now, all of a sudden, you've moved your mistress into the house. The whole situation just sounds funky to me. And it seems as if he did enjoy his time with B because he's like, well, if she didn't have Alzheimer's, I wouldn't be with this other person. But it sounds like what it is that he enjoyed was what it is that he could get from the relationship. But then when it was his time to give, what did he do? And you know, he's looking at these vlogs, right? And he claims that he's getting death threats. You know, I don't like the way this is going. So somebody threatened him with death, and what are they going to do? Throw something through the window, which may, oops, oh no, it hit B. You know what? I'm worried about her. And then, so listen, make sure that you're subscribed to Chronicle Speaks because I'm waiting with bated breath because she says that she has some tea that she's about to spill, which is going to blow our wigs back. And I want to hear what it is that she has to say about this situation. I want to hear what you have to say below, please. Because this whole situation is just seeming very strange and very bizarre. It's like something from a bad novel. Like if I told you this story, you wouldn't believe me. You would be like, "Oh, this is just some fictitious thing that you." But this is something that's evolving in real life. And this guy clapping back, calling people PayPal thoughts, and calling the griot negrio, and all of this other just ignorant stuff. And then we got this woman allegedly slapping B's hand, slapping Dan upside the arm with all her might. What else is happening? This sounds like a very unstable, unhealthy environment. Where are B's friends and family? And, you know, oh God, I'm thinking about the daughter that B helped raise. And how even the daughter is okay with this situation. Because that's her father. Like the newscaster was saying, if this was my mother, I wouldn't want this for my mother. I don't understand this. Why does the woman have to live in B's house? Didn't the woman have a house? The woman ain't got money. She couldn't rent a place up the street. Why can't this man use some of B's money to pay for proper care for her? Obviously, the care that she's getting is allegedly slapping her in the hand and goodness knows where else. I'm sorry, this is disturbing. And then he's talking about divorce. Who got the divorce? What divorce is he talking about? Is he planning on divorcing B? What's inside of her will and her decree for what it is that happens if she does get divorced? What is going to happen to B? Who is looking out for B? I mean, she seems healthy enough for now. We see they done chopped off her beautiful locks and couldn't even maintain the little bit of dignity that she had left, that they're over there publicizing and broadcasting footage of her sprawled out on the shower floor, him showcasing to people just how hard poor dirty Dan has it. I'm out of here. This situation anybody would deserve better than that. But you know what? This is a teachable moment for all of our lives. And what's the teachable lesson for you? One of the biggest, most glaring things for me is have a plan B and a plan C if need be. Because even if you have children, there's no guarantee that your children are going to take care of you. So with all of that money, what is your plan B? What is your plan C? Because where are the plans? Where are the people? Oh gosh, where's her friends and family? And how do we on the outside, how do we provide help and assistance for her? Is this guy's public declaration, is that enough for somebody to investigate the situation and make sure that B is okay? That maybe she could get put into some sort of protective custody? Because this sounds like elder abuse to me. We've all seen it. B deserves better. Imagine that. Her man, while she living and breathing, her man out at a pool party, sucking face on some woman in the pool, happy as a pig in slop. Because she doesn't know better, because she's a quote-unquote toddler. And from what people have told me, when you have Alzheimer's, you go in and out. What happens when she comes to and sees the situation that's going on? What happens to her then? I'm out of here. Listen, leave your comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. I feel defeated because I don't know what else we can do. Because I know if it was me, what could you do? If it was me and this was happening to me, what could you do? Because I would want somebody to come and save me. And it's like, I just finished watching the Ted Bundy series on Netflix. And I was thinking about these girls in their last moments. And how for so many of us, you know, when we're in trouble, we wish that there could be something like on TV where somebody would just burst in and come save us. And you know what? It's like you work your whole life and to make millions. We're talking about a woman who's a multimillionaire with a long legacy. And from what it is that I hear, Dan doesn't have the ability to make money the way B did. So here's this woman, she worked so hard to make all of this money. And then she gets this disease and she has enough money for proper care. But the person who's the executor of her will, her next of kin, her husband, is doing this. And I think about those girls who lost their lives to Bundy. And I wonder to myself, you know, what was it like to be in that situation as your final moments came? And that door never burst open with help on the way. Nobody ever found you like they do in these crime dramas where the persons are like, tick tock, tick tick, oh, we got this, we got, boom. We got you. We got you, B. We got you. And while all of this is going on, where is the knight in shining armor? Where is the justice? When that person allegedly, according to account, slapped her hand from touching something, where was the person to speak up? To speak up for and advocate for B? Where was that person? And the person that she married brought that person into the house, took care for her, her competition, the person who's in the way of them living high on the hog and fat off the purse. This is the person that you entrust, the person who entrusted you for 22 years with her life. Where were you to speak up for her? To be like, no. Because it sounds like there's some part of him that cares some amount about B. But where was the part to come up and be like, no, don't treat my wife like that, or no, this situation is inappropriate. I know that I can't have the competition around a person. Okay, so she's like a toddler, except she's an adult. And the person who you brought in is of sound mind and body. Imagine if she was a toddler, right? And would you bring in another toddler competition for your child? It's just, I don't understand this. Okay, so she's like a toddler. Toddlers understand. But I'm saying you got the competition looking after the person who has a vested interest in this person not being in the way. And it doesn't sound like this woman is all there together herself talking about, I'm sitting right here. How dare you say she's the sweetest, kindest person? You don't understand your position and your role. No, because she's been emblazoned and empowered by Dirty Dan to come in and run amok inside this woman's household. And I think about Flowers in the Attic and how those children how they had the arsenic and the sugar powder because the mother was trying to get rid of them so that she could go off and marry again. Sorry for the spoiler for those of you who may be just now reading it. But I'm like, what is really happening behind the scenes in that home, especially now that we've heard about alleged abuse I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you all comment in the comment section below. My mind is blown. My mind is blown. I'm just like, how can this be real life? And there's a part of me that's just imagining just that door swinging open and saying, we got you, B. And I'm wondering, how do we make that happen? Anyway, listen, I'll talk with you all in the comments. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And love yourself enough to have safeguards in place. To not entrust. Some things are just too important to be entrusted into another human being without checks and balances. Just a little checkup, like, you know what? Let me just check and see. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself enough to know that above all else, that you have to do things to have you. That you have to have you. You understand what I'm saying? So listen, on that note, make sure that you go out and you can download my MP3. I've had to change the download process because I was having people download it from the shop for free, but people were abusing that system. So I've had to place a price on it and give you a coupon so that you can so the coupon is right in the text part. So you just take the coupon, you get it for free, you download it, you join my mailing list, and you listen to the MP3. It's a relaxed MP3, and you just relax and you just take a load off. You know what? If she were a toddler, love her, hug her. Just being a toddler doesn't mean that you don't deserve love, and it doesn't seem like this Alex Lerner person is willing to allow B to get the type of love that she may be needing. If he can't even speak complimentary words about B in her presence. Can he hug B? Can he love up on B? Can he hold her and make sure that she's all right? And does he even want to? You saw how he was holding and pushing up and pulling up on that girl in the pool, or that woman, grown-ass woman in the pool. I'm out of here. TonyaTko. Peace.